Hello and welcome to another episode of SqEngineering Engineering. I'm Sprutis, and in today's episode we are picking up exactly where we left off in the previous episode, where we finished the majority of the fuel lines. So we have two small lines to complete today, as well as preparing the fuel hanger. And so that are the missions or the goals for today. And the bonus would be to apply some current to the fuel pump and circulate some fuel and see if there is any leaks and stuff like that. Very exciting. So I also need to charge the battery. I will not turn on ignition because I don't have my ECU connected. So I will just run two wires directly from the battery. So let's go. So I started with the easiest thing, connecting the battery charger. So it's charging. It's been a long time since I had a peek inside. But yeah, let's move over to the other stuff. So here we have most of the things we need today. We have soda, important. We have a fuel pump. We have some wirings just for looking, AN wrenches, and one 150 degree AN6. So this end will connect to the ethanol content sensor, and then the hose would go like this into a straight AN, which I already have on this hose. So let's go to the engine. So here is where the 150 degree hose end is going, and then it's going up to here. I'm not completely sure on where this one lands. I think it's something like this, but I just need to make sure that I have a little bit of room to play with, but I don't think that should be any problem. I'm also considering undoing the two screws holding the ethanol content sensor to the bracket, just so I can twist the sensor out towards the engine, so that the return hose is getting away from the steering shaft. But I think that's for a later date. Let's continue with the hose. So this was the previous hose. It came from the fuel pressure regulator kit that I bought from Drift Motion. I'm not sure if this is rubber or teflon, no idea, but anyway, we are replacing it. And I have two hoses, and I marked this one here because this one have collapsed, so I'm not sure if I want to use that one. And if I measure the end to this one and the other end to this one, then that will be shorter than my second piece of hose. So I will save the longer one in case I need it between the main fuel line and the fuel tank, and then I will use a piece of this one in the engine bay. So I have cut this end, and we will install the 150 degree because that will make it easier. First, like previously, we need to correct the shape of it. insert the nut as soon as possible, so we don't forget. I've done that many times. And then we use the end like so, just to correct it a bit. And then we take the screwdriver, a small flathead, without stabbing yourself. I know that's tempting, but please avoid it. So we're just going down between the teflon and the stainless steel braid. Carefully going around, making small adjustments just to open up the gap a little bit. And then for some engine oil, and just drip some oil in it and add some to the threads as well. You don't need very much, but just something. Since it's aluminum, it's soft. Like so. Then try to squeeze back the braids. Then we start threading it by hand, carefully. It's very easy to cross thread these. Then we will measure it. The goal is to be around 1 millimeter. We're basically there. So what I will do now is I will close it just a tiny bit more, and the only purpose now is to align the flats on the so something like that. So now we can mount this one to the ethanol content sensor, and I think the hose would be roughly like this. So here we have the hose connected to the ethanol content sensor, and right here you can see a piece of tape on the hose, and that's where I intend to cut it. And by doing that, I have, in case it's too long, I have space to go down with it, but at the same time I can also pull it up a bit. So I think that should be fine. And then we just do the same. The only difference is that we have a straight fitting. Get some space to the braid. And then the olive. Push. Make sure that it looks okay. And then the oil. And I think we now have the risk of getting some of the nylon braid in the threads. So I will cut it a little. We don't want anything in the threads. The exception is oil and aluminum, but not damaged aluminum. We have oil on the threads and are ready to thread it. Carefully first. Inside. I'll get back to you. And there you have it. The final fuel hose that's going in the engine bay. I will clean it with some brake cleaner and then blow it out with compressed air. So I'll be back soon. And here it is. It's dark, I know, sorry about that, but it's connected to the ethanol content sensor. We have a nice bend to the fuel pressure regulator. We have space so we can move it a bit if necessary, but I think this is roughly the spot. So let's move on to the fuel pump. So to assemble the fuel pump in the hanger, we need the hanger, we need the fuel pump, which I've already put a hose on, and I can't remove it because then I need to cut it. We also have the rubber support, but this is some sort of durable rubber, not sure what it is, but it seems to be holding up nicely against the fuels that we have. And then I also have an extra hose which I would use for return. And then we have the bulkhead fitting AN6, bulkhead fitting AN8, and the post for the positive. I froze a bit. So let's see. So I think this one will, I might need to look at some photos, but the easy one here is first of all the hose clamp. We do need them, so I will put them on. So I will just use big hose clamps and tighten them down. And then the idea is that this one will go like so. So I bought a few different sizes. And then the idea with the second hose is that it will only run alongside this. But I wonder if I should have done something. I could take a piece of stainless pipe. I should have something, and then put it on the back side like so, so that the this hose clamp can squeeze on it without breaking the actual hose. So I repurposed a bit of old fuel feed stainless pipe. Hopefully this will fit in the car or in the fuel tank, but we have that one, and then the hose wrap around, AN6 to hose adapter, bulkhead fitting, and then sort of straight out like so. And then the AN8 will go in between these two screw holes. So here we have it. Now it's time to see if I can get it into the fuel tank. So the fuel pump hanger is in, and as you can see, there I used a few cables and turned the pump on. We've got a functioning fuel pump, at least. So yeah, we still have one more hose to complete. And of course I forgot the gasket the first time, so I had to take it out. But now it should be fine. But I do need connectors for these posts, positive, negative. So I will take care of that. So it's been a few hours and I'm late as always, but the fuel pump is in the fuel tank. I'm not really that fond of the idea to take it up again just to verify things that are probably tight. So I will look into that. But yeah, just having the pump back is a big step forward. But like I said, we still have one fuel line to complete. And another thing, I got to borrow this from a friend. Some sort of laser instrument with mirrors and stuff to adjust the toe. So hopefully a lot easier than using strings. So yeah, that will be interesting. But yeah, we have one more day to work after work, and then so tomorrow is Thursday, and the plan then will be to finish the fuel setup so that I can actually run some fuel in it, but also to get the fuel tank back in place. And then on Friday I need a day to rest, or I will still be at work, but in the evening I will take some time off and then be back here on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe a bit mixed because I need to fix the ABS sensors as well. So yeah, full steam ahead. Full throttle straight into the wall. And then I'll be off from the garage for a few weeks. But if I manage to get the MOT approved for the Supra, then I'm really happy, because then it will be a lot easier in the spring, like I've already said. So yeah, tune in for the next episode where we are pushing some fuel. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe. Stay safe, take care, bye bye.